Welcome back to the Pointless Podcast, episode numero 4.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, Josh. That is correct.
It's just been over just over 2 months, hasn't it?
It's been about 2 months, yeah, since we boldly stated that we'd make one a week.
Which we do want to do, but I'm not gonna promise that again.
We're gonna do it now from this day forth, one a week. The reason we've been gone for so long is because, you know, as soon as we made that last one, you know, I think you moved into your house like a few days later we recorded that.
I think so, yeah.
And then that's like moving and stuff like that slowed us down. And then I had to finish university, and God, it was just a real painful journey. But it's done now.
It is done.
And
now we're on the episode 4 of the Pointless Podcast, and we're just going to get right into it.
Yeah, it's a bit slicker. We got a running order, so let's just do this. We've got topics. We're going to hit them. Let's go. Topic number 1, Josh Tooth, is
about the Arctic Monkeys' new album that they've just released.
It's called Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino, and I sound like I'm sponsoring it. It's called Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino, and it's available from all retailers.
I mean, if the Arctic Monkeys want to sponsor us, then I will plug it in every video we ever make.
Yep. Right, a lot of people didn't like this album.
They didn't, and I can understand why they didn't, but at the same time, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about it.
So, if you know anything about sort of like the Arctic Monkeys, or you've listened to them before, you'd normally associate them with songs like I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor,
When the Sun Goes Down, things like that.
Like real indie rock songs. And then this album's come out, and I put it on, and I sat there. I got it on a record. I got it on a vinyl because I'm classy. I put it on my record player because that's how you play them. And then I was like, okay. It started playing. I was like, oh, right.
To be fair, you made a very good point when they released the names of the songs, which they did a few months ago.
Yeah.
I mean, you pointed one out to me. One of the songs on there is called The First Ever Monster Truck Front Flip. And as soon as you read that title, you know that this album's not going to be a normal Arctic Monkeys album. I mean, having said that though, if you think about it, would you read the name Fluorescent Adolescence and think indie rock?
Yeah, because it sounds like... If you look at like... Yeah, I would, because it sounds like something like adolescence and words like that. It's like proper like indie. They wrote when they were younger though, weren't they? So like it's like stuff like, they wrote on the mean streets of Sheffield.
This is the thing that I've been thinking, that when they first started recording music like that, when they were an indie rock band, they were younger in Sheffield, and they were doing festivals more catered towards people that like indie rock and all that sort of stuff. So they're going to write songs like that. But now that they're older, they've progressed as people, things change, and you want to try new things. If you're doing the same music over and over again for years, I don't know how long they've been a band off the top of my head. It's something we can look up. But
2006 was when they made the like, big break.
So but you can imagine that there'd have been years before that.
Yeah.
So you can imagine they've been making music for a very, very long time. So at some point they're going to have to go, right, we want to try something different now. And that's what this album is. I
feel like they did that long before this album. If you look at their first 2 albums, which is like whatever you say I am, I'm not, or whatever it's called. And then like there's the second one, which is D is for Day. No, what's it called? Your Favourite Worst Nightmare.
Yep.
They sound very similar. They're a classic indie rock. But then since then they have.
Yeah, but then you've got to make a little bit of.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, my point I'm getting to is when people say, "Oh, it doesn't sound like Arctic Monkeys." What is Arctic Monkeys? Because AM, which was really successful, doesn't sound anything really like one of their other albums, like Humbug.
I think if you listen to the songs though, there is the same kind of vibe. There's the same, like, they use the same. There's the same feeling there. You can tell it's an Arctic Monkey song. I think the reason that people are so annoyed about this one is if you listen to any of their older albums and then this one, it's like 2 separate bands, which is the only thing that I'd say that they've probably not done as good as they could have from not from an artistic standpoint, because I can understand why they'd want to make a change, like I've said, from we need to sell music and cater to our fans point of view. they've not done a very good job, because their fans are people that listen to, I bet you look at the dance floor when the song goes down, all of the AM album, that they listen to things like that. And the only times that the Arctic Monkeys have ever made slower songs is when they put 1, 2, 3 on an album. The rest of the songs are all driven songs. Now they've gone, right, we're going to take those 2 or 3 songs on every album we've done and put them in one big album. And people aren't going to like that because they're not used to it.
I feel like, right, I feel like if you listen to, there's an album they made called Suck It and See. If you listen to that, that sounds way more like the album they've released now. It's like, but that wasn't really successful at all. So like, when people say, "Oh, I'm a big Arctic Monkeys fan," what that usually means is they like 3 of the albums, which is the first 2 and then AM. There's 2 in the middle that no one listens to.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but what I'm saying is those 2 in the middle that no one really listened to is where they tried other stuff, if you know what I mean. So like, people aren't accustomed to or don't like this change because it feels really sudden, when in reality, like, it isn't. They've tried different stuff. Like Suck It and See's got a load of slow songs on it, and like
I think the big problem with this one is it is very different. Like, it is very different from the stuff they've done before. Another thing that I'd say I don't like about this one is, and I don't know whether you'd agree with me, but I don't, and I have said this to you before, I really don't think Alex Turner is at his best in this album. I don't think his voice, if you listen to any of the older albums, it doesn't matter, slow songs, faster songs. I've always thought he's a good singer. Obviously, he must be. But in this one, he just sounds off. He doesn't sound like he's put his best into it.
Right. Now, you said this to me, so I listened to the album critically, and I feel like it depends song to song. Some songs, like the lead at the song, Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino, I think he's really good on. But then there's others where he just sort of, like some of it's just like, I don't know, just a bit off.
For an album that I feel like they've gone, right, this is who we actually are now, right? They've gone, well, it's Alex Turner because he writes the songs. For an album where he's going, right, this is me, I'm going to put my heart into this and put it out there. We're not catering to our fans, we're not catering to anyone else. This is us. He's not put his best foot forward. Because for the whole album, you need to be on your top form. When you're going to do something like this, change it up. You need to put your best foot forward. And in every song, it needs to sound like it's coming from your heart. And I don't think it does.
But I feel like it's hard to do that. Like, this album's also like what they call a concept album. So it's all based around a hotel on the moon, which is like a phrase that, you know, you don't expect to hear. But like, I don't think that it's not that he hasn't put his heart and soul into it. I feel like it's just so completely different, and it's so not what we're used to hearing from like this band. Also, the way they recorded it as well, I don't know if you know, they recorded it in like 3 different countries, and like all the vocals recorded in Alex Turner's house by himself.
That might be a reason for why it sounds so bad.
He wrote all of this on a piano rather than he said he went to write it on a guitar, and he said he picked up the guitar. I was like, I already know this is going to go on board. So then he got on a piano and wrote this entire thing on a piano.
Another thing that would annoy me is if I was Matt Helders.
Wait, were you downgraded from really good drummer to lounge drummer?
I mean, Matt Helders was the second. No one really cares about the bassist and the other guitarist in this band. They don't. At the end of the day, it's about Alex Turner and Matt Helders. Matt Helders does all most of the backing. He's always been the driving force on the songs with the drums. One of the songs, Dance Floor, I bet you look on the dance floor, that beat that he does, that was a practice beat that he used to do to warm himself up. They liked it, they made it into a song, and now it's gone from like, he's this drummer, to like, if you listen to the album, you'll know what I'm talking about. I just don't know. I really like the music. Don't get me wrong, I really like the album. I just don't think, I don't know.
I started listening to it, and the first song came on, and I was like, God, I'm not going to like this. And then, it's also right, like, it's how you listen to it, and where you listen to it, and like the situation, that weirdly plays a lot into this. Like I'd finished work, I was tired, and I came out. No, something like that. I'd finished university. I'd finished university, as in entirely. This came out on the day I finished university, and I came home and I was really tired, and I just put it on, and it's really like chill and vibey, and it's just, you have to listen to it as an entire album as well. I don't think you can listen to like, you can't just go and pick a random song from the track list and go, I'll listen to this, see what it's like. And that's like a big fit. I feel that's why certain people, because people have gone on to it's the way music's listened to as now as well. That's why they didn't release a single, I think.
I agree with you. The way you consume music nowadays is different to what I think they're trying to put forward. It sounds like it's meant to be listened to on vinyl, whereas that it's growing, but it's not. Like in the sense of not the sound of it or anything like that, or the vibe of it, in the way that like you have to listen to the album.
Yeah,
you have to go from start to finish, and you don't do that on a phone or on Spotify or on Apple Music. You don't do that. The only place you ever really do that is on a vinyl. So, but vinyl, although it is, I was doing this at university when I was there. Vinyl is getting bigger, but it's always going to be a novelty. It's never going to be the main thing that people listen to music on. And if that's what they've catered it towards, they've done it wrong. I think because they would have done it through a record label. I think they're on Domino.
Yeah, they are.
The record label either gave them too much room or wasn't paying attention, because they're not gonna, like, at the end of the day, they want to make money. That's what they make songs for. Like, it just is, and they're not gonna sell this as much as they would have liked, I don't think, because of the fact that you can't just listen to one song because you'll be bored. So people will listen to one song and then go, I don't like it.
Yeah, I feel that's the issue. And I don't know if I bought it on vinyl, so, and like what you're saying about what we've been saying even about how you have to listen to it as an album is like, even on the vinyl, usually when you buy vinyl, there's like on the A side and B side, they'll have like in small font what songs are on each side. The A side and B side on the Arctic Monkeys album has no font on it, whatever. It's just a picture, and the picture is twice on the B side, so you know it's the other side. Like, it's definitely made to be listened to as like a full album,
which is good. Don't get me wrong, because we're in a culture now of music that is just crap, in my opinion.
No, yeah, we agree.
In my opinion, because it's just overproduced and it's made to make money, whereas this album isn't. This album's made so you listen to it and enjoy it. That's why I say I like it, because they've made it, or Alex Turner has written it from his heart and he's put that out there, and I really like that. And if music could go this way, if more people could buy vinyl, listen to music, vinyl costs more, which means that the music industry is going to thrive, because at the moment it's dying, because people are just streaming music and the artists aren't making any money. 2, we're going to move away from this electronic stuff that's overproduced. It's not written by the artists, and it's just there to make money, and that's just going to be good for everyone.
I feel like part of the reason I love this album as well, like, is because it's actually different. Like, for instance, if you go onto YouTube and you go onto trending, you go onto the music part of trending, it's the same song by 50 different artists.
That's what I mean when I say overproduced. And
yeah,
like it's they're all written by, I swear there's one producer somewhere sat there that bangs out every song and they just put another name on it.
Another version of Lil, and then insert whatever your name is after Lil.
I just don't like being in a band myself. Like, music's going further and further away from actual music, and it's turning into like, you just make it on a computer and bash it out. Like, you could make a song like that in 5 minutes. You just put a beat on and then put some words on it. That's it. There's no like music anymore, and that's what I like about the Arctic Monkeys have done with this album. They've made music,
and also the lyrics on this album actually mean things. Like, they're really, like, if you actually care about what lyrics mean, or like what they're trying to say, like you would a book or something like that, or like, there's a lot more to this. Well, there is what am I saying? There is something to this, and there isn't in modern. If you look at something like Like, what does... You're not going to look at Gucci Gang as a song and be like, oh, what poetry. What poetry doth little whatever his name is. I know he's a little... Like it's just... It means nothing. It's all the same. And it's so... It goes hand in hand with the way people listen to music currently, which is just off the cuff. Like, you put half a song and it's like, oh, I'm done. It doesn't mean anything.
You get your phone out, you press shuffle and listen to whatever comes up because it's going to be the same song.
It's all very similar. You like...
But yeah. But we might not be right. This is just our opinions. But you tell us what you think about the new Arctic Monkeys album in the comments. And if you want us to talk about this more...
Or music.
Or music in general, because it is something we're both passionate about, then tell us and we'll talk about it. But for now, we're going to have to move on, because we could talk about this all day.
We could, and we can't.
Because we've got a running order.
We've got a schedule, and we've actually got a segment. This is going to be my segment. And by that, I mean it's something I come up with every week. And it's called Pointless News. And what's going to happen is I'm going to find a news article that I find maybe interesting, maybe hilarious, maybe both. And I'm going to just tell Josh Teeth about it. We're going to have a quick discussion about it. And I've got one here for you today. It maybe isn't the best one I could find, but it's something that speaks closely to me because it's a part of my life.
Okay.
It's about McDonald's.
Okay.
Which I currently work at. Let's not make jokes.
Which I've also worked at.
You've also worked at. And it's a man who's eating his 30,000th Big Mac. Now, let that sink in on 30,000. Okay.
Yeah, but
do you want,
in his life?
In his...
How old is he?
What I'm going to tell you is that he's eaten one every day. Since... I'm trying to find the year. Since 1972.
Has he not got, like, heart disease?
Okay. I'll read a bit of this article to you. So,
okay.
A man who says a Big Mac is his perfect food has now eaten 30,000 of the McDonald's burgers. This one is a biggie for me. Retired prison officer Don Gorski said as he reached the culinary milestone. It's something I've been looking forward to, apparently. And he gave a half-an-hour presentation about it, about him eating the 30,000 one in a McDonald's.
To the customers?
The people came to see him eat it.
Right, okay.
Because it's a big thing, apparently.
Right.
He said he ate his first one in 1972 when he first got his driver's license, but he didn't just eat his first one. He ate 9
at the same time,
one after another. There's a quote somewhere saying he just couldn't get enough hamburger. Like, I'm just skim reading through this.
Wait, so he got his driving license and he went to McDonald's.
Yeah,
right, and then he ordered a Big Mac.
As in 1972,
just one.
Yeah,
ate it and went, I need another one.
The quote is, my first day I came... Right, we'll go back a bit. As soon as I got my first car, this is the first place I came to. Obviously talking about McDonald's. The first day I came here, I ate 9 Big Macs. It was like I couldn't get enough hamburger at the time. And
then from that day on...
He's eating one every day.
From that day on?
Yes.
That must cost a lot of money.
Well, you're paying like, what, £5 a day?
I want to work it out.
But... he doesn't just eat Big Macs at McDonald's. He's proposed to his wife at McDonald's. Unbelievably, he's got a wife. A man who eats McDonald's every day of his life has a wife. And I'm still single. And he also is collected... You know the packaging it comes in? The cartons?
Yeah.
He has 7,000.
He collects them.
Well, he keeps them as proof that he's eaten Big Macs throughout the years because the packaging changes.
Right.
He did, however, lose a lot of them in a tornado. This story sounds made up.
Right. Hang on. Is he eating the meals? Or is it just the burger he's eating? I need it for logistics.
I'm assuming... I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says he's eating burgers.
I'm just going to say it's the burgers.
Okay.
So it's £3.19 a burger.
Yep.
Times by 30,000. He spent... £95,700 on Big Macs.
Wow. I mean, it's a lot of...
And there's inflation in there somewhere. Like... Because he's been eating them for a while, so... Oh my God.
There was a period in his life where he, for 9 days, because of snow, he couldn't eat a Big Mac.
Right.
he had dietary choices. He wrote in a book. Everything about eating Big Macs every day was perfect. I never had to cook. It was fast and ready within minutes after I left work. I never had a craving for something different. I had found my perfect food. The stress of having to eat a non-McDonald's meal was over. I'm sorry, but it's a big, like, every day.
I couldn't do. How spotty is he? He must be, because that's greasy.
He's really slim. He's got low cholesterol. How? He's eating.
Is there a picture of him?
Yes, there's a picture of him.
Get a picture, because I'm going to put the picture on the stream so people can. I don't normally do this.
The pictures of him. It's a close up of him eating a Big Mac.
I'll blur out his face because I'm not sure if I can't blur out his face, but
I mean, there is no like. He has a McDonald's shirt on in this video.
In fact, I can show that, can't I?
Yeah, you can show him. It's a news topic. Sky News is showing it.
I'll put a picture up of what he looks like eating a Big Mac. I don't normally do that. I normally just edit the video so it's like, but I'll put a picture up so you can all see.
Like, is there a food that you could eat 30,000 of? Like, you wouldn't get bored? Don't say spaghetti bolognese.
To be fair, spaghetti bolognese probably would be the one I'd go to.
Oh, God.
It probably would be. I'd love spaghetti bolognese.
You're more boring than the man.
But other than spaghetti bolognese, I'm partial to a cheeky arancini ball from Zizi.
But I couldn't eat 30. I couldn't eat one every day.
I don't think I could either.
Like,
There's nothing. No, to be fair,
you're having the same meal every day.
I wouldn't want to eat spaghetti every day.
Well, imagine the carbs. You get well fat.
Well, it's not just that. You'd have thought he would eating a Big Mac a day.
Yeah, maybe that's the only thing he eats.
Right, yeah, maybe.
Maybe he's got a real fat wife. Don't know what that has to do with it. Maybe he does.
But yeah, no, I don't think there is anything that I could eat 30,000 of.
Penises?
No, definitely not. Being a straight man. I don't eat penis. No.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's just like, what?
I'm lost for words.
30,000. Just quantify that. How many of you in your life maybe scraping 100?
Probably more than 100.
Really?
Probably in thousands.
You're not in the thousands.
Think about it.
You're not eating.
No, think of. Well, no, probably not. All right, not in the thousands, but like high hundreds. Think about it.
I've never actually had a Big Mac in my life.
What?
I've never eaten one ever.
Why?
It just, like, I've made them. They don't look appealing to me.
They're very nice.
No.
Try one.
I don't want one. The onion looks awful.
Trust me.
The onion looks incredibly
Will you
gross.
just try one for? We'll film it. Yeah?
Alright, we'll film it, but I'll hate it. I'm taking the pickles off. I hate pickles.
We'll film it and we'll put it in this podcast.
No.
Yeah, and we'll do it now.
Okay, there you go. That was me eating a Big Mac, probably. Depends if we've actually put it in or not.
We will do. I'm going to film it on my phone.
Okay. But, God, 30,000.
Wednesday. I'll take you Wednesday.
Okay.
To eat a Big Mac. You're going to eat it and you're going to enjoy it.
I don't think I
I
will.
promise you will. You will.
Anyway.
Let's move on to the next bit.
Segment.
Yeah.
Chapter.
It is another segment. Callum's come up with these segments.
Because Josh said I never used to do anything, so I've done all the planning for this. This one is called Shower Thoughts. And it's because things I think of in the shower.
Well, and on the running order, it says we're going to get 15 minutes out of this.
We are. Because what I'm going to talk about is everyday situations which are just, everyone experiences that are intensely awkward.
I've got one.
Now, okay, you say yours and then I'll top it with mine.
Do you know when you're walking?
Oh my God, we might have the same one.
You're walking, someone's walking.
And you're trying to avoid each
and
other.
You're trying,
yes,
but
that was mine.
But you step in the way of each other. See, I've come up with a conclusion to this.
Right.
You just stop. Because you're obviously trying to get round each other, so you both like step in the same way. If one of you just stops and goes...
But the thing is, right, you're too deep into it once you started.
No. You have to just do it. You have to just be like, right, stop, let them go. That's what you got to do on that.
Yeah, I'm too deep into it when I start wiggling. Like, it's not just in this. It's when imagine you're walking in a building and there's like a right angle turn in that you got to take, and you can't see round that corner.
So do you know what you do? You take the long bit.
But I'm not always thinking like that. and maybe it's a small corridor, which it has been. And I did one the other day, and I went to walk around it, and there was someone doing the exact same. And we sort of looked round and saw each other, and tried to walk, but like we were already walking. We didn't stop because that'd been weird. So we sort of like, it was a big corridor. We sort of shimmied past each other sideways. Do you know how awkward that was?
It's more, to be fair, it's more awkward when you're doing the stepping and the shimmy thing, because you're looking at each other whilst you're doing it, and you're just kind of going like, sorry.
Well, I don't know what to say. I make noises. I'm like, oh. when I walked to that, going, oh, and then he was gone. He was the one going, oh, sorry. Like, it's so awkward, and I don't love it. But when it happens to other people, it's just something that's constantly on my brain when I'm walking up to a turning. It's
one of those things that's like, oh no, it's like a cringe thing.
Yeah, you feel weird. It's like when
you go to shake someone's hand, but like you get their fingers. or you like miss, and like it's that awkward. Or like you go to shake someone's hand, or they go to fist bump you, and you're like, oh no, what do I do?
And you sort of like look at each other and you laugh it off.
Or when you go to shake someone's hand and they go to hug, and you're like, and you're doing the things with your arms, or you're like flapping your arms, so you don't know which one to do. There are loads of awkward interactions.
Just awkward every day. Like if you see some attractive people and you're thinking, maybe you're having a good day, you feel like, I'm looking really good. And then with me, something always going to, like, at that point, my motor functions just collapse. And I'll like trip down some stairs, or won't pick my leg up enough when I'm walking, so I'll trip over nothing. Like, and I'm just like, oh damn it. And I sort of have to put my head down and walk quicker away because I embarrass myself. Things like, man, life's awkward.
Life is a really awkward thing to do.
Is there any others you can think of?
Nope.
Are you sure?
This is what I said. We're not going to get 15 minutes out of shower thoughts.
See, here's the thing. I thought you were going to say a different one to me.
Well, no, it was pretty clear that it wasn't going to happen. You knew. You told me downstairs before we started recording. You're like, I've got one. I was like, I've got one. You're like, oh, we've got the same one, haven't we? You knew.
It's the ultimate one, though. Like, there's awkward things.
The ultimate one is the handshakes.
No,
awkward handshakes are the worst.
I've got another one.
YouTube, awkward handshakes.
I don't want it.
Honestly, it's the worst thing. It's the worst thing.
Do you know what's
it always feels so awkward. Because, like, I don't feel awkward very often. I'm not a very awkward person. But when that happens and you're like, oh, it's like you want to like
crush the hand.
You want to just dissolve.
I've got another one. When you buy something from a shop and you've forgotten something you need to get from that shop, and you have to go back, and it's the same person serving you. I don't know if anyone else has this. I will point blank refuse to go back into that shop. There's been many a times when I've been asked to get something for even like my parents. Maybe it's important, and I've just said I can't. I haven't got it, and I was like, why? It's like, I forgot it. I forgot when I left. It was like, would you not go back in the shop? I was like, I can't go back in the shop. What, like a nutter, and come back and get some milk? Oh yeah, I know I came back here 2 seconds ago. I can't do that. Because you have to have that awkward conversation with the person.
That doesn't really bother me. I don't care what they think about me.
It's not that I care what they think. It's just like, it's just weird. Like, I don't want to talk to you again.
That's just being a nasty person.
No, it's just...
Oh, I don't want to talk to you again.
It's just inconvenience. It's like Subway. Subway is the land of inconvenience.
Why?
What do you mean, why? It's the most inconvenient place you can get fast food from ever.
Why?
Okay, so say you go to a Mackey's, you ask for your food, they give it you, that's it. Bada bing, bada boom. Subway, you go in, and first of all, you can't just ask for your food, because you can't just go, chicken tikka. You have to ask for like, this size chicken tikka on this bread, and I want it toasted with some cheese. And it's like, I have to read off like I'm already reading out my shopping list just to get food. And it's like, okay, and then they do it.
Yeah, but that's what makes Subway so good.
No, wait. And then they switch server on you. Then they, like, you got someone else, and you've got to get a read on what they're like. I've got to vibe off their personality. Now I'm like, what are you like? Are you sassy? Are you happy? And then they leave your sandwich in the toaster for too long because they're doing someone else's salad because he's wanting everything on it. And I'm just like, oh, come on, just get it out of the toaster. I can hear it beeping. And then they get it out of the toaster, and I was like, oh, do you want any salad? And I'm not a big salad eater. So, like, I say, oh, just some peppers. And they're like, anything else? I was like, no. If I wanted anything else, I'd have said it in that interaction.
Got to just in case.
What do you mean, just in case?
It's good customer service.
I
That's
said
what makes-
just some peppers. I didn't say peppers and like leave it open, like for them to like I want them to ask. I said just some peppers, and they were like, and also like I feel like they're judging me because like I'll get meatballs. You don't need too much salad on meatballs. I see people in the line in front of me getting meatballs and they're putting sweet corn, red onion, all this on. Right,
I'm one of those people.
You're ruining your sandwich.
I'm not. But yeah.
You're ruining your sandwich. If you're having meatballs, like if I ordered meatballs with spaghetti, I'm not putting sweet corn in it.
I had pickle.
Oh god!
And you know what? It was such a good choice.
I'll just have like if I'm having meatballs, I'll have no salad.
Do you know what? Everything you've just said, I disagree with. I love Subway.
I like the
And
food.
the reason I love Subway is because of the exact fact that you can pick all your ingredients and you see them whilst you're picking them. You know exactly what bread it's going on. You know when it was toasted. You know the cheese that's going on it. I love Subway.
I just don't like how many people I have to talk to.
I don't care. They're doing my food.
But like it's like and like I always leave it in the toaster too long. Maybe it's just
That
me.
doesn't matter. The toaster turns off.
It
The
doesn't.
toaster
No,
turns
no.
off.
If the door's shut, it'll over toast. Trust me, mate. I've had over toasted sandwiches.
I've never had an over toasted sandwich.
And it's just like, oh god. And it's like, and I can never remember their deals. Like, if I get a drink with this one, does it make it cheaper like some of them do, or am I just gonna like do myself out some money for a drink I don't really want? And like, I'm just like, and I'm there and like, what drink? I was like, I can't have the coffees are awful. The coffees taste like dirt.
I've never had a coffee.
They've gone into the back. They've got a hole in the back where they've just pulled up some of the tarmac, and they'll just take some dirt from that, put it in a cup. So there's your coffee. And it's just
That's
even
Mackey's coffee is pretty bad as well.
oh McDonald's
That's why
coffee
someone's
is
gone in the back, opened up a hole and shat in a cup. That's what that's like.
it's so right. I get a latte from McDonald's, and people always look at me weird when I grab 4 milks. The only reason I'm getting the latte is for energy. The milk is there to neutralise that taste.
Yeah, it is right.
Their coffees taste like ashes of people who used to work there.
Oh my god.
It is so bad. And all I'm saying is, Subway, listen, your food's nice, but just maybe give me one person to make my sandwich. I don't need to go through 5 different people all name different things.
This has moved on from shower thoughts now. This is just.
I'm just sorry.
Hate Subway and its people.
No, I like Subway. I'll eat a Subway any day of the week. I just don't like how
In fact, I might have one every day
for
30,000 times.
30,000 days.
Imagine that.
A Subway every day. A Subway though, you could mix it up if you just said I'm having a
you could, to
Subway.
be fair.
It's just a sandwich. It's not like I'm having a Big Mac every day.
It's still unhealthy.
Should I film you eating a Subway?
I've done that before.
What, filming yourself eating a Subway?
No, I've just eaten many
Ah.
Subway. You've never had a Big Mac, and that to me is like you've never lived your life properly.
I've lived
It's going to happen. On Wednesday, I'm taking you.
Okay.
I'm taking you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Awkward things. Yeah. Onwards and upwards and forwards and backwards.
We didn't get 15 minutes out of that.
That's fine.
We got about 7.
We got a lot out of topic 1 there.
But, moving on.
This one's going to take up a lot of time.
What I'm going to say is, if you haven't watched Avengers
Infinity
War yet, then maybe skip past this bit because there's going to be spoilers.
Is there going to be time cards they can skip past?
At this point, I'll do a skippy pasty bit time card. You could do that, I think.
We should have like a bit at the bottom where we can like all the topics names and you can click on them. So
Do you know how much work that'll be?
No, I'll show you. It's not that hard. You just have to do a tiny bit of graphic design.
Anyway,
so yeah, if you haven't seen Avengers Infinity War, skip ahead now or pause it or just we'll skip. There's going to be someone on screen. Click that. It'll skip you ahead probably.
and it's going to start now.
Okay. Holy bleep it. Holy shit. What a film. What an experience. What a life I get to live every day now that I've seen this film.
Me and Callum went to watch the midnight release at our local Cineworld.
Yep.
Jesus Christ almighty.
Now, alright, first, before we get into the meat of this film, one of the things that was we didn't sit next to each other because we went with different people, we just happened to be in the same screen. Now, one of my favourite things about this, I'm glad this happened, because as the film finished, I got to look around to about 5 rows behind me to see Josh just staring at me with like the most like childlike wonder in his eyes, like shock at what he'd just seen.
It wasn't wonder.
It was shock.
It was pure despair. That's what it was.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know how they're going to... If you've watched it, you know. And if you haven't watched it, why are you still listening?
Yeah, because we've kept it spoiler free so far, but it's not
Go
going
and
to
watch
happen.
the film now. But honestly, we can't just keep. I don't know. Like the words don't work when talking about this film. Tell me your thoughts as you were walking out the cinema world. What were your first thoughts when you thought back to what just occurred?
I'll tell you a quick story. When I was walking out that Cineworld, the only thought I had in my mind was not to piss myself. Quite literally, because I was holding a wee that entire film and the toilets were closed, so I had to run and piss in a bush. After I'd had that urination and my thoughts were clear, I was just like, what the... And I was really happy. And I can give you a few reasons why I was really happy as your resident nerd. Number one, that film felt like a fucking comic book.
I agree with that.
That was so... It was like you're in different locations constantly. There's different teams doing different things. Like,
I think the thing was, it wasn't just your standard film. What I really liked about it was the fact that this is 10 years worth of film culminated into just a big, giant mother of a film that's just perfect in every way. The thing that made it so good was the fact that they planned it so well that every character in it had, other than Thanos himself, every character, you know them, you know all their backstory, you know the way that they work, you know how they've got to the point they're at the moment, so they don't have to do any of that. You just get straight in and they can make this world come to life that they've built, and I just loved every minute of it.
do you know what was even better about this film and why this film was so good? That made it better than other Marvel films is that choices had like real consequences. Like, if someone made a choice that was maybe not the best in an old Marvel film, they'd find a way around it, it'd be great. In this one, if someone made a choice where it was maybe not the best, holy shit.
Who are we talking about here?
I know we're...
Yeah.
Right. Well, and if you listen to this and you haven't seen it, blah, 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 you should have skipped
Spoilers.
by now. Like, let's take, for instance, Star-Lord.
The biggest.
My favourite character.
But he messed up bad.
Yeah. Because he punches Thanos, which just, like, sends him out of the trance they've got him in, which means their plan fails. He is the ultimate reason that everyone dies.
We're just going spoiler ahead. Yeah.
Well, like, the people who are in it die because he messes up the plan just because he lets us... Like, just everything. People make bad decisions and then they die because of it.
Doctor Strange was my favourite character in this film.
Forget him a second. I want to keep going on. Just... They're also, like... It's quite dark in places. Like, near the beginning, there's a bit where Thanos has got Gamora, and Star-Lord tries to shoot her in the head at point-blank range.
Just to stop it because she'd asked him to kill her.
Like, that is not, like, ritualistic, like, murder. Like, that's illegal in England, to try to help someone die. Yeah. Euthanasia is not allowed, and it's not something I'd have to witness in a Marvel film, but like I loved it. It was so tense. Everything in that and that set up like the rest of it. Like every time, I genuinely believed, and I didn't believe this in any other film, that at any point a character could be murdered.
Any character as well.
Anyone could have died at any point. Like maybe
I'm talking like Iron Man, Captain America, like Black Panther, Spider-Man. Any of them could have died at any point in the film, and you didn't know when it was going to happen.
Like the team that fight Thanos on his homeworld, there's a fight that they have when he first turns up. At that point, I thought, what? Someone in any second, like every punch felt like they could get just caught and they're dead.
And all the main characters as well. At some point, looked like they were going to. Like Thor looked like he was going to die in a couple of times. Iron Man looked like he was going to die at least once.
Iron Man got stabbed.
It was such a good film.
God.
And I'm so glad that we are here to witness it. And I just cannot wait a year to watch the next one. I really can't wait a year to watch it.
I'm excited to see what they're doing in the next one. I've read a lot about what they're filming. As a guy who makes films, so I've looked at what they're shooting.
To be honest, I just don't think we're going to... You can research it all you want. They kept this one so well.
But I mean, I've seen set photos,
but you don't know what they're putting out there.
No, but what I'm saying is, what I'm theorizing, and what like they've sort of come out that's been leaked, is that there's definitely gonna have time travel in it. It's the only way. If you've seen the film,
there's gonna be time travel.
Because the only way you can fix this is time travel. But they've also been filming the like scenes from old films, but with new characters in. So they reshot the beginning of Captain America, or a scene from Captain America, I can't remember which one. but I think it's got a different character in. Like, and also they've all got, in these set photos, they've got these like hand things with like a big button on them, which is said to be like what they use to time travel.
You just don't know with
But like,
Marvel. The thing is, like, one of their trailers, like one of their first trailers during the big fight where like Captain America's and they're all running in Wakanda.
Isn't in the film.
It's not in the film because Hulk's there.
Yeah, I know.
Hulk's in, and he obviously, if you watch the film, you know
doesn't come out.
It doesn't come out
Because he gets beaten to pulp at the beginning.
So you don't know what Marvel are doing. They're tricky little blighters.
And also, actually, just made me realise the turning point for me wasn't the whole Star-Lord Gamora thing where I thought anyone could die. It was the beginning of the film where Loki has his neck snapped in a grip. And I was like, holy...
And you just knew there and then. Heimdall just dies.
Heimdall gets stabbed. Heimdall, I was like, oh, he's like an okay-ish big character, but he's not. Loki has been the main villain for pretty much the 10 years up to this point, and he just gets put out.
And he's not coming back. I know he's not. He can't come back from that.
No, he's dead.
He's dead, and that's the thing. Like, in the next one, this is the thing. Like, some of the people that have died, I'm not going to name them all because
there's one character I really want to come back.
Well, there's one character that's definitely going to come back.
Yeah, but there's one that was killed not by the end game, was killed with a different way that I really want to come back. Gamora.
Right.
She was thrown off a cliff.
I don't know if she will though. But she might do, because I've read a theory that obviously the Soul Stone, which is the reason that
they're all trapped in the stone.
They're all trapped in that stone.
But she wasn't killed with the Soul Stone.
But she was killed for it.
But that doesn't matter.
It might do. You don't know, do you?
But like,
you don't know. Plus, little
damn.
Gamora was in the Soul Stone. You don't know. You don't know.
I just don't want to watch a Guardians of the Galaxy. Those two films are my favourite films of all time.
I've not watched the second one. I have not watched it. I've not found a way to. I didn't watch it when it was in the cinema.
What do you mean you haven't found a way to?
Because when the second one came out, I hadn't watched the first one yet. So I watched the first one, and by the time I'd watched that, it was out.
The second one is so good. We'll watch it together.
Unless I've got...
I'll film you watching it.
Is it on Now TV?
I've got it on DVD if you want it.
It might be on Now TV. We'll have a look, because I've got Now TV, so we'll have a look on that. Anyway.
Like, those two films are my favourite films of all time. That and Interstellar. Interstellar's not in the Marvel Universe.
Interstellar is a good film.
Interstellar's such an amazing film.
Do you know what? If you want to hear us talk about films more, put that in the comments.
I actually
make things about
just
films
finished the degree in film, so it's something I could actually do. But those two... So, like, I don't want to watch a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 without Gamora. I love those characters like they're my children.
Do you know what? I think she will come back because of the way she... Like, the way Loki died, he just died. The way she died is different. But
you saw her broken body and you saw blood coming out of her head.
Yeah, but she died... It's different. It's just different. She didn't get a neck snap. She died for a reason. Loki didn't. Neither did Heimdall. She died so that he could have... So it was like a sacrifice. So you just don't know.
Oh, God, it's interesting, though.
It is. And I really want to know what happens.
And, like... It's just like... I watched Justice League before I watched this film.
See, Justice League is a film... Like... I really liked Justice League.
I hated Justice League for every reason under the sun.
And the only reason I like Justice League, like, it's not from... Because you're going to tell me all these reasons why it's a bad film, from a film point of view and all that
and comic book
crap.
Point of view.
But I just loved seeing Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all that, just doing stuff. I loved it.
But, like...
I think Ben Affleck is a really good Batman as well.
Here's the thing. Ben Affleck is an amazing Batman. Henry Cavill would be the perfect Superman if he actually had a good script. And I like... what's her name as Wonder Woman? Gal Gadot. I even like the guy's Flash. And the guy's Cyborg's pretty good. The casting for this film was pretty solid.
Do you know what the issue was with it?
It was awful.
It tried to be established before it was. The thing that makes Marvel work so well is that they've all had their own films where you've seen where they've come from. The characters have been developed, and then they come together. You know where they're from. They can do a story together. What they tried to do with Justice League is they tried to cram in everyone's backstories and then make a film out of it, and it didn't work.
They're actually very almost like identical stories as well. Avengers: Infinity War and Justice League. It's all about a villain who's trying to gather these objects to have like ultimate power. To like, it's just in Justice League. It's not explained very well. The villain is like you barely know anything about him. He looks grey. Like a lot of the time I watch that film, it's like He just looks like a grey blob running around. Also, a big thing I had with this film, a big issue, is you have Atlantis, this whole underwater world. I'm like, oh, I wonder what Atlantis looks like. It's one room. You see one room.
Oh, they're saving that, though, aren't they?
But I don't want them to say... We're watching Justice League is like the pinnacle of DC.
And this is what my point is. They tried to cram everyone's backstories in one thing. I think if they had a solo Batman film, which is in and out of works, they don't know what's going to happen. I really hope it does, with Ben Affleck. It'll be a really good film, I think. Superman's already had his films, whatever.
They're making another one.
Which, if the script's good, it'll be good. I think the Aquaman film would be good, because I really liked...
It's got a good director as well.
The actor that played him. I don't really care about Cyborg. Wonder Woman's film, I really liked.
I've not seen Wonder Woman.
I really enjoyed that film. So, I think it's got potential to be a good universe. It's just I think they brought Justice League out too early.
Something that needs to be said as well, although I just said, they're making another Superman, that was said a while ago. I don't know that the only film that they've definitely got in production, I think, is The Flash. And that has had around 5 directors. Films have 1 director, usually. 5 is like unheard of. I think that DC's universe is going to be dead fairly soon.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna, especially after they bought Justice League out too early. They botched
it with Suicide Squad.
They're trying to rival Marvel, and it just isn't gonna. They shouldn't have worried about what Marvel were doing. They should have focused on themselves.
All I want from DC is a Batman film that is basically Batman Arkham Asylum, the game. You'd put him in a prison full of all of his famous villains, and he just has to beat them all in interesting ways to like escape,
and then find the Joker.
Like, that film would be amazing.
But you got to think of how hard that would be.
Do you know they were writing it, and then they stopped because Ben Affleck dropped out? Yeah.
Oh.
They were writing a film where he's in Arkham Asylum, and now they're not doing it because he was meant to direct it and star in it. Now they've got a guy called Matt Reeves meant to be directing it, but they don't know if it's definitely happening yet because they don't know if Ben Affleck's going to be in it.
Is that the film then?
Well, I don't know if it is anymore because it was when Ben Affleck was doing it. But Ben Affleck's not doing it anymore.
Why wouldn't you want to do that film? Like, if I was an actor, that's the pinnacle role.
Yeah, but he said he'd direct and write and star in it, and then every question he ever got asked in any interview was about Batman. Like, he was promoting a film that he directed, and then everyone was like, "Oh, we don't care about this film that's just about to come out. We want to know about Batman."
Yeah, but obviously that's what's going to happen.
And he got really pissed off, so he doesn't want to do it anymore. It's just like, Ben Affleck, you are throwing down.
Who would not want to be the Dark Knight? If I could put that mask on, mate, I'd do it in a split second. If someone asked me, do you want to be Batman? I'd be like, yes, sign me up now. Let's get going. Let's get cracking tomorrow.
When do we start?
Honestly, give me the script and let's do it. Honestly, that is the pinnacle of a role. You just got to put a deep voice on it and look buff.
It's just like, and you can see now, we originally started talking about Avengers, just how much better Marvel is than DC. That Avengers film blew my pants off.
That Avengers film was probably one of the best films I've ever watched.
And do you know what made it even better? We were at the midnight release. When things happened, like when Thor returns and there's all the lightning, there was a genuine people went, "Oh my God." You could hear it in the room. People were like,
there's like a buzz.
There was noise when things happened. People were like, "Oh yeah." Like, I could tell people getting excited when exciting things were happening.
I've got goosebumps thinking about that scene.
Oh.
That. I literally have got goosebumps thinking about the scene when Thor comes back with his...
And we can't talk about this film without talking about the meme scene, which is the end scene.
Right.
Which is Spider-Man.
We're not talking about that.
We have to. It's all over my Facebook.
I don't think it's fair.
We have to.
On people that haven't watched it, if they're still listening.
Well, this is on them. We've told them to skip many a time.
It was the worst scene ever.
Spider-Man
actually made me nearly cry.
Spider-Man dies at the end because Thanos wins. He turns everyone into dust. He turns 50% of the universe into dust, basically. And Spider-Man is one of them. And he's stood there with Tony Stark. And he says he doesn't feel so good.
Oh.
And I read that the reason that he has... because everyone else, they just sort of fade out of existence without really knowing what's happening. The only one who has time to think about what's happening and experience it is Spider-Man, and that's purely because his spider sense is telling them that he's going to die, and that knowledge just makes it all the more worse.
And it's not just that; it's the way that Tony Stark's like hugging him, and it's just the worst thing.
Because if you watch Spider-Man the film as well and Civil War, it's like a father-son relationship.
It made me tear up, honestly.
Oh, my God.
I never thought I'd tear up over a superhero film. That's how good this film was, though.
I teared up when Star-Lord was about to... I thought for sure he was going to blow Gamora's head off. I was like, oh my God, these two, like, this is really going to happen.
It's the best film, and if you haven't watched it, and we've spoiled a lot for you now, but like, just go and watch it.
It's still good.
Honestly, I've watched it twice, and I'd go and watch it again.
I saw it a second time, and I loved it just as much,
if not more.
I want to go see it again.
I want to go see.
We talked about it every time I talk.
What time is it?
No, we can't go tonight.
Honestly, I might.
Every time we talk about it, I get more excited about it. Like I want to go again.
There's one. Oh, we can't.
There's one at 9.
Yeah. Well, actually, it starts at 20 past, but
no, we can't.
We can't.
We'll go another time. It's just that film was great.
We need to move on. We need to end this.
Okay, that was it.
That was really good fun. I enjoyed that.
That was episode 4. We talked about music. We talked about other stuff, and we talked about Avengers.
And we really enjoyed that. If you want to listen to more pointless podcasts, or we're going to make some gaming videos as well, because we fancy it, and we're going to do loads of stuff. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. And
this time, when we say we're actually going to make stuff, we genuinely are. We've got the time. We've got the tech on our hands now. It's happening. We're doing it. When we're recording this, we're doing it 2 days from now. We're doing some more stuff. So it's happening. So just shut up.
It should be Friday when you're watching this.
Fingers
or
crossed.
Maybe Saturday. Friday or Saturday. We're going to try and do it weekly, either every Friday or every Saturday, the podcast. So anyway, thank you for listening. We've been Pointless Plays.
And goodbye, good night, and I love you, sweet prince.
Bye.